the woman history tried to erase. In the shadows of medical history lies a name almost forgotten, Anarcha Westcott. She was not a doctor, not a scientist, not a researcher, but her suffering built the foundations of modern medicine. Born into slavery in 1828 Alabama, Anarcha was just a teenager when she was forced into one of the most painful medical experiments in history. The doctor performing these experiments, Dr. J. Marion Sims, would go on to become the father of modern gynecology, and his most famous subject became the first woman to undergo multiple gynecological surgeries, all without anesthesia. That's right. Over 30 times, she was subjected to experimental surgeries. Not 1, not 10, but over 30. And each time she was in agony. Her screams filled the room as she endured what can only be described as torture. Yet history celebrated the doctor and erased the girl. Dr. Sims performed these surgeries in the 1800s. Back then, women's health was a taboo subject. No one really talked about it or studied it. There were no specialists, no support, and most importantly, no pain relief. But Dr. Sims wanted to change that. He wanted to understand the female anatomy better. And he believed that the key to doing that was experimenting on live patients. And he chose Anarcha Westcott to be his subject. Anarcha was born a slave, and so her life had already been full of pain and suffering. But what Dr. Sims did to her was something else. It was cruel, it was inhumane, and it was unnecessary. He experimented on her for years, trying new surgical techniques and instruments on her body. He didn't care about the pain he was causing her. All he cared about was advancing his career and making a name for himself. But his experiments did lead to some important breakthroughs in women's healthcare. He developed new surgical techniques that saved countless lives. And he also helped to improve the health and well-being of women everywhere. But the question we have to ask is, was it worth the price? Was it worth the blood and pain? Was it worth the suffering of women like Anarcha, Lucy, and Betsy? For nearly 2 centuries, Anarcha's name was buried. She became a footnote in history, a nameless face in a crowd. But now historians and activists are finally rewriting her story. They're telling the story of a pioneer, a woman whose endurance changed medicine forever. They're telling the story of a survivor, a woman who refused to be broken by the system. And most importantly, they're telling the story of a human being, a woman with a name, with a face, with a life. So remember her name. Anarcha Westcott, the woman history tried to erase. Kindly subscribe to this channel for more contents like this. Thank you for watching. Please like and share.